Bloody good afternoon. Bloody good after bloody noon.
It is afternoon.
And it's
as
a
well.
bloody afternoon as well. Bloody bugger neighbours drilling and doing things in the street. Why they can't be doing that in their back garden, I do not know.
And annoying the neighbours in the other street.
Yeah. Rather than everybody. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
I wonder what that was for. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. There's no glamour this week. I'm afraid I just haven't had time to apply the glamour.
CBA.
Yeah, it's my CBA.
Or is it actually you haven't had time? You haven't had time.
CBA.
He hasn't had time. It's been a busy day.
And my IHHT. It's my IHHT as well.
I haven't had time.
Yeah.
There we
Well
are.
done,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's quite a good one.
Yeah, it's my new syndrome.
Yeah, IAH.
You heard it here first. Same as CBA. If somebody else starts using CBA, I invented CBA. Thank you very much.
Not to be confused with CBD, which is very different.
Entirely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
Indeed it is. It's a busy old time.
It is.
It's Saturday. Today, all day.
Yeah. We're both a bit exhausted,
A
actually.
little bit knackered.
Yeah. It's been a busy week and a busy day.
Busy week, busy day.
I said that.
Busy day yesterday as well. But yeah, let's start with the usual segment.
What's the weather been like?
Richard and Paul's weather report.
It's been warm.
Yeah, warm and sultry.
Yeah, it's been sort of pleasant. It's been more pleasant than that high heat that we had over a week ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
But
had
humid.
Very humid. We had an absolute. That's my Russian coming out. An absolute deluge of rain for like 10 minutes.
Well, it's more than
on
10 minutes.
Wednesday.
Because it came back again, do you remember?
It came back later, but it was 10 minutes and I got caught in the rain. I was 2 minutes away from home, started absolutely chucking it down. I thought, well, I'm going to get wet. I'll just go to the allotment because I needed to take peelings down there. Came back as quickly as possible. 2 minutes away from home, coming back, it stopped raining. But by that time, I was absolutely drenched.
Could you not go on, Paul?
I couldn't go on. No.
Yeah, because that was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Well, it's in my daily vlog coming up shortly.
There we are.
Coming up shortly. It's a bumper week this week with lots of extra little bits and pieces.
Things. And it looks as though we're going to have a little bit of a dip and some wet weather, and then it's going to get warm again towards the end of, well, I think the middle of next week, and then going into October.
Well, I have heard on the meteorological grapevine that October is going to be lovely.
Oh.
That's what I've heard. Oh.
So maybe we are going to get an Indian summer like you said we were going to
Like
get.
I predicted.
I thought we weren't. I thought we were going to get to the end of September and then it was going to cool off. I mean, the nighttime temperatures are getting quite low. So even though we're 24, 25 potentially during the day, we're dipping down to 10 degrees at night. And that is pretty cool. So anything that we might be hoping might benefit from an Indian summer, like the squashes or the cucumbers, most of those things won't actually benefit because the nighttime temperature is going to be too low. So
what's it going to do to them,
Paul? Well, it starts stunting their growth and they start going, it's too cold to grow. So
well, they'll just be miniatures, won't they?
Well, no, they just give up and die, basically.
Well, can't you just cut them off and eat them?
Well, yes, of course you do. It's called harvesting, Richard.
Oh, So interesting, Paul.
Yeah. Though our cucumbers are now finished, and I am doing seed saving of 2 cucumbers that are getting to over ripeness. Was that a bit jazz hands? Do you remember that jazz hands at Malvern?
It's a little bit Bollywood style.
Oh,
Change the
Change
light bulb, sweep the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely, Paul.
I saw Malvern advertised again.
Oh,
so
did you?
are we going to be rushing off there?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. What, the autumn show?
Yeah, I mean, I think it must have been. I think this was advertising for next year, the Malvern show.
Lovely.
Yeah, maybe the tickets are on sale for that.
Lovely.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I should know because I'm a member of the RHS.
I mean, we did enjoy it when
it
we
was
went.
great fun. It was great fun. It was nice meeting, quite a few of the other
Some of them.
YouTubers and things like that. It was lovely seeing Jane, meeting Jane and Mike in particular. So, there we are. And Terry and Rue. Yeah.
There we are.
And others. Yeah.
Some others.
Yeah.
Anywho, Paul.
And Liz.
Let's get on with the show.
On with the show. So there we are. Weather done and dusted.
Let's look at the book and see what's in store. That's
It's
the wrong
very
one.
sunny at the moment. Very sunny.
I'm on the wrong Sunday chats.
Sunday chat!
I'm going back to 2022.
Oh, yeah. Some of you really enjoyed. In the newsletter, we had a link back to the sort of first ever little Sunday chat, it was called. I think it was only 15 or 20 minutes. You could link to it here, couldn't you? But it was linked to in the newsletter, and it's that was 5 years ago, I think. 2018. Ridiculous.
Thank you. Just got a little thank you to say. Thank you to Courtney and Dave for my birthday present. Thank you so much. You're far too generous. Far too generous.
But thank you.
It's lovely. It's lovely. Thank you.
Did you enjoy my birthday present?
Which one was that then?
I was especially nice to you for the day.
Was okay, yeah.
And I cooked you that special meal.
Well, you cooked an absolutely gorgeous
Thing.
butter beans. It was butter beans with rice
And
in a tomato sauce.
in a tomato and what sauce?
Tomato and something else sauce? I don't know. What was it, Paul?
So I did. I was trying a new recipe out. So it was butter beans, and then I actually added chickpeas the next day as well, in a sort of tomato satay sauce. That's what it was.
Satay?
Yeah. So there was peanut butter in there, and you really enjoyed it, didn't you? You just said you really enjoyed it.
I don't like satay.
There we are. So there was sort of, some nice warming spices in there,
delicious.
and
Delicious.
a little bit of madras as well, some peanut butter, tin of tomatoes. So yeah, it was rather nice.
It was delicious. Thank you very much.
And I have found that the butter beans that I bought from a local Turkish shop are actually from Greece.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're quite large.
Oh.
Doesn't say they're gigantes,
Oh.
but it is 2 kilos. So there we are.
Good. So yeah, weather is good, changeable, but pleasant at the moment. Just to round it off, Paul. God, you could never be an anchor.
Well, I'd float, wouldn't I?
Simply don't have
Yeah,
it.
I'd float. There's too
Thank
much.
you
There's
very
not enough
much,
muscle and too much fat.
Paul.
Yeah. Throw me overboard with a rope on, I'd just bob around.
I'm talking about a programme anchor, Paul.
I know,
presenter.
I was segueing.
Yeah, boring now. Thank you. So, a little update on Mum, Paul?
Yeah, so I had a text from my brother. My mum was taken to A&E earlier this week.
Again.
So she was there overnight and is back home, back at her care home. I spoke to her a few days ago. I meant to call her today, but we've been so busy I haven't, so I'll catch up with her tomorrow morning. But yeah, she was having breathing difficulties, and that's because she contracted COVID. There was COVID in the care home. Not sure if that happened last week or this week, but she has some difficulties. Her stats were rather out, so precaution of taking her to A&E. So yeah, and when I spoke to her, she was sort of quite jolly, which was good. Getting a little bit back to normal, but I think with having had that heart attack, I don't think Mum will get back to where she was. I think that's the way of life, really.
Yeah. She sounds quite frail, but
yeah,
at moments. But yeah, there you go.
So there we are. Yeah.
So it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week, but not particularly busy for me at work. How was your working week, Paul? First.
My working week was a little bit challenging because some things came in that were quite unexpected, and there were some things for her sake that I needed to do. They were attending they had an unmanned stall at a fair on Saturday. No, on Saturday today, on Friday, yesterday, and various different sort of forms were needed, information sheets basically, and the ones that we have hadn't been updated for about 6 months because of things that are changing, but they needed to be updated for this event, so I had to update those, so that was a bit unexpected. And then a few other things came in which were just sort of needed to be done, literally on the hoof. But okay, that was my working week.
Well, as usual, I prepared a little bit of extra vlog for you about my working week and also about our journey yesterday over to see the lovely Vivi Gregory from What Vivi Did Next and Vivi's Kitchen Garden. I'll do a little link to her latest video. So yeah, we went over to see Vivi. Before anybody asks, we haven't videoed our visit with Vivi because all three of us are this is private time. It's a day off. We don't really want to be getting the cameras out.
We sit back and chat.
We sit and chat and we just enjoy some private time. But we decided to film some of the journey because you might find it interesting to see little parts of London. But we also filmed our journey on the way back in the dark, which is a very different journey to the daytime because you can see various things in London. So here's the vlog from my daily vlogs from this week, and also a little bit about the journey to and from to Vivi, from West London to South London. So run VT. Welcome to another week of daily vlogs. I'm quite enjoying doing these, and I know that I've done them before. I did a few during the pandemic, which was quite fun to do. I did a few minutes per day, and that's what I'm going to do with these. Thank you very much for all of your comments on Sunday Chat, and some of you really enjoyed the daily vlogs. So I'm going to try and keep them up for a little while. I may do this as a standalone. A couple of you have said that you would watch it as a standalone, so maybe I'll do that. I don't want to bombard you with loads of extra videos to watch because sometimes that can be counterproductive because, we haven't all got unlimited time to do these things. And that's really one of the reasons why I sort of haven't done any videos for a while on my own, because of time constraints, you know, working extra hours, all of that. Trying to shoehorn things in doesn't always work for me. I like a bit of time and space to relax and do nothing, although the reality of that is that it is very, very rare that I have nothing to do and will sit for hours and do nothing. It's very rare. There's always something to do. But I guess with not having any viewings this weekend, we kind of just trashed the place, basically. Not really. We would never trash the place, but you know, it gets a bit lived in, a bit too lived in for my liking. I don't like it to be like a show home all of the time. Oh, here's the sun. Please go away, sun. We've had enough of your burning hot orb for the past week, thank you. So yeah, lots of housework. Vacuuming, dusting, cleaning the blinds, putting stuff away, blah, blah, blah. You know the score. Cleaning the loos, cleaning the bath, cleaning the bathroom floor, hands and knees jobs, you know, all of it. And so warm, so sticky. Parts of me are sweating that I didn't know had sweat glands. Really. Anyway, what's Paul been up to today? Well, I've kind of spent most of the day on my own because he went down to the plot this morning to prepare for this afternoon's barbie. They're having a barbecue, so he came home for lunch. We had lunch together, watched an episode of Murder, She Wrote, and then he's gone back to the barbie. That's right, barbecue. So I hope he's enjoying himself this afternoon. I hope it's not too hot and sweaty for them all. But at least the rain has held off. Now it did say that we were going to have some thunderstorms. The Met Office were forecasting thunderstorms for today. That's not happened, although it has been quite grey and quite dark grey in the distance. But I've been monitoring the lightning map, and I love monitoring the lightning map. It's one of my favourite apps. I don't know whether you'll be able to see if I show you, but Peterborough have had some crazy, crazy storms this afternoon. I don't think the camera picks this up very well, but I don't know whether you can see that or not. Let me put my other glasses on. Well, my glasses. See if you can see this. But the map around Peterborough, I don't know whether you can see that. No, it's not showing up. But basically, it's covered in orange and yellow spots, which means there has been a massive, massive thunderstorm, and it's still going on, and it's now reached, where has it reached? Boston, Kings Lynn. It's over that area at the moment, so it's literally going off like the clappers. I wish you could see it on here, but I don't think you can. Maybe you can catch it slightly if I turn the phone. Anyway, very interesting app to follow. Will we get it here? I don't know. It's certainly humid and warm enough, but hey ho. So the rest of today, the rest of today I think I'm going to take it fairly easy. Get my clothes ready for work tomorrow. I think it's going to be significantly cooler. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the aircon at work tomorrow. I really am. I don't want to be sweating. I'm going to have another bath. I had a bath yesterday. I'm going to have to bathe again, which I'm not used to. I'm used to having one bath a week and then a little, pits and bits wash. Hey ho, gotta do it. Gotta wash that sweat off. So I'll see you tomorrow for a Monday vlog, and we'll see how the working week has commenced. Bye for now. Good evening. It's Monday evening. It's about 8 o'clock. We've had dinner. Paul's gone out because he's got a meeting with the people at the plot about something or other. I don't know these things. It's almost dark out there. It really feels as though the nights are drawing in now. Going into autumn, time for coziness. Well, not quite yet, because it's still quite warm. Today has been rather pleasant, I have to say. People at work were saying, oh, it's too warm again outside, I'm sweating. But when I went out for lunch, I was expecting to be hit by a wall of heat, and that didn't happen. It was quite pleasant. I think I'm fairly tolerant of the heat at the moment. It's quite strange. Maybe with the sort of moderate temperatures that we've had for most of the summer, not too hot, maybe that slowly got me used to it. Paul seems to think these hot temperatures just came last week out of the blue. I don't feel as though they did. I feel as though we've had, warmish days, we've had coldish days. It's been a sort of real mixture of temperatures and changeable weather this summer. I don't know, I've quite enjoyed the heat. It is noticeably cooler this evening, but I do have the windows open. I like the cool evening air to come through. I think tomorrow's going to feel even cooler, and we do have a little bit of rain forecast. So let's see if that comes, because frankly, the garden could do with a good water. I don't think it's going to get a good water. I'm going to have to do that myself. It's 8 o'clock. So how's the working day been today? Not many people in work this morning, although people sort of came in as the morning moved along. A couple of people off sick. I think there's another bug going around, and I think it's a bit of a vomiting virus this time. One of our day centres phoned me this morning and was phoning for some advice because they'd had a few cases of a vomiting bug and have had to shut down for a couple of days to isolate it and stop it. Because remember, in my business, we deal with a lot of very vulnerable people, vulnerable health-wise, So we do have a duty of care to protect people. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, it seems to be going around. So who knows? It could be norovirus. And I guess we're coming into the season for viruses. And of course, with the recent heat, things multiply, don't they? Anyway, I digress. So yeah, today's been relatively busy, not crazy, but nice and steady. So that's been good. I worked right up till 5. Some days I tend to start thinking about getting ready to leave work at 5 too. And I've got various things I have to do as I leave. Shutting fire doors, shutting windows, making sure it's secure, shutting blinds. But I did that very rapidly tonight, just after 5. So, yeah, reasonable day. I'm feeling slightly flat this evening. It was a busy weekend. There was lots going on. So I feel a little bit tired. And I did wake up very early this morning again. So, yeah. One can't be on top of one's game every day. No. We do have moments where we feel a bit, whew. So I'm going to hunker down now and watch a bit of TV. Paul is going to be back around 9, half 9. So we'll probably watch a Schitt's Creek when he gets back in. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Hi, it's Tuesday afternoon. Just got in from work. The heavens have just opened. We've had a little bit of rain. It was only for about 10 minutes apparently, but I missed it all. I was working. I was deeply involved in writing an email at the time and taking a phone call, so I missed it. But no thunder, as they were predicting. Oh, There's a delivery van outside. I don't think it's for me. Are you expecting anything from UPS, Paul? No. Go away, move on, move along. That's it. No? So anyway, Tuesday. Tuesday is over with now. The week is moving on rapidly, as it normally does. Yeah, time just slipping away, bit by bit. Yeah, it's odd. This year, don't know where it's gone to. I said that in the newsletter. Crazy. Week by week, it just seems to be speeding up. What can you do? Go with the flow. Yeah, what's it been like today? This morning was really, really quiet. So I just got on with doing updates to staff, bits of paperwork, tidying, things that you do when everything else is quiet. And then this afternoon has picked up, so that's good, because there's nothing worse than sitting there staring into the car park with nothing to do. Again, very rare that there is nothing to do, because I can always find something. Even if it's wiping down shelves or wiping window surrounds or dusting blinds, whatever, I will always find something to do. So, yeah, it's over with now. Time to relax for the evening. Yeah, that's it really. Nothing really to report of any significance today. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Hi, it's Thursday. So let's just recap on Wednesday, because I didn't do a vlog. Yesterday, it was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm 39. Not really, I'm 56. That's the truth. Face the truth. I don't mind. I like being 56. In fact, I enjoyed being 50. I thought, I'm 50 now. I can do and say whatever I want. I don't, but I dream of it. Yeah, how was yesterday? I was at work. People are like, why didn't you take the day off? I never take the day off for my birthday. I don't do anything on my birthday. It's the same as every other day. And, that's the way I feel about it. I don't think it's sad to feel that way. It's just kind of how it is. But it was very pleasant at work. I had a couple of gifts. I had a cake bought for me by one of the nurses and a little bottle of Prosecco. Obviously, I didn't drink that whilst on duty, although it might have been fun. And that was lovely. I shared it with my colleagues and there were 2 pieces left, so I brought that home and Paul and I had that with a cup of tea when I got in, which was lovely. We had dinner, we played cards, watched some TV, had a long conversation with one of my sisters, which was lovely. So yeah, it was, it was pleasant. That's fine. Today is Thursday, as I said, and it's been another day at work. Relatively busy this afternoon, quiet in the morning. It's been a strange old time at work in terms of busyness. Certainly not as busy this autumn as it has been in previous years. I've said that before. So yeah, a little bit weird, really. Yeah. Nothing much to report. The weather's been very pleasant. We've got sunshine again, although the sun is going down now. Not sure exactly what time it is. I think it's about 6:30. We are out and about tomorrow. I'm not at work tomorrow. I have the day off, which is great. And we are going out. More of that at some point later. Yeah, all good. A little tired, perhaps. I've been waking up early. Yeah, my eyes feel a little heavy. Yeah, but it's, same as usual. It's a busy week. We've got a couple of viewings this weekend on Saturday. So it's a busy day tomorrow, so I've got to get up early on Saturday morning and do my cleaning and the bits that need to be done, tidying. I just don't have the energy this evening to do any of that. I've just put a wash on, so I'll need to make sure that's out and drying tomorrow so I can put it away before the viewings. So yeah, it's all go in this house as ever. Just got to keep moving forwards as usual. So I'll see you probably at some point tomorrow to reveal where we are. Lovely. Take care. Bye for now.
Hello. We're going over Battersea Bridge. That's towards the Tower of London and House of Parliament. And it's rather a bright, hot day with lots of traffic issues so far. We're an hour into a journey that normally takes an hour. With those over there look a little bit cooler. Look, that's nice. And we're on our way to Madame Vivi Gregory, which is going to be lovely, I'm sure. It's Battersea Park that way. Look at this traffic though. Look at this traffic. It's just been constant traffic for us, hasn't it, Richard?
Yeah, it's been bloody ridiculous.
It's Richard's driving today, so we've had lots of moaning and things. But and people hooting as well like that. But hopefully now that we've crossed the River Thames, the journey will be a bit better. Fingers crossed. We'll pick up again at Clam Common. And we're now going to be going through Clapham Common, which is over there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a huge park in the middle of Clapham. And this road that we're turning right onto cuts right through the middle of it. And it is sort of quite dry, yeah. Very dry, in fact. Mind you, we've seen it drier, I think. But it is rather lovely. We've got a large sort of truck in front of us, so that's a bit of a shame. But there's the road sort of is an avenue of trees, which is rather lovely.
Well,
Look at that.
It's looking quite golden.
Well, it's looking autumnal, isn't it? It's looking as though it's getting into autumn, which of course it is. And you always have people going for their walks along here and taking their dogs. And runners, yeah. And that's a sort of like sports ground there, you can see. And then we're coming up to an area where there's often a fair. When they have a fun fair, they have it over there on the left in front of the truck. And over here, sorry about that glare, it's very bright, lots of cars. This is very much the sort of sports side of Clapham Common over here. It has tennis courts and gym equipment and all of that type of thing. And we seem to have another car that wants to turn right. Look, a taxi, a modern London taxi. So yes, we're we've been going for about an hour and a half now. It sort of feels like it, but that's okay. We hopefully will be with Vivi in less than half an hour. There's the tennis courts, not sure if you can see them over there, people playing tennis. And more greenery over here.
And of course the common is bordered by very, very expensive housing.
Yes, very expensive housing. Yeah. Oh, that's rather nice in that shade. It's gorgeous. and now we're just almost through it. So we bend to the left here, we get onto the road that borders the common, and then on our way towards Vivi. See you later.
So we're driving back from Vivi's, and Paul filmed Clapham Common earlier. We're just driving back through Clapham Common at night. Well, it's about 8:30 at night, and it's been another busy drive. Lots of traffic. I mean, I know it's Friday night, but I mean, this is, been a bit crazy, but it's thinning out the traffic a little bit now. People playing sports at 8:30 at night. We've had a lovely day. We've been chatting, we had a lovely lunch, we took some cheeses and some bread, hummus and some crisps, and Vivi made a huge Greek salad, so we all enjoyed that, which was lovely. So yeah, driving home. We've got viewings tomorrow, so we need to be up early in the morning to make sure the house is spick and span. There's some of those big properties I was telling you about earlier when we were driving. Big London houses, and yeah. It's interesting, when we do this drive at night, it always reminds me of the times that we used to visit Vivi during the pandemic, because Vivi was our social bubble, and it was obviously a very strange time for everybody. It was like a sort of nightmare situation, but we maintained our social bubble with Vivi. We used to drive over at that time in a hire car, wasn't it, Paul? It was a zip car.
A zip car, yeah.
Because we didn't have a car.
We didn't have a working car.
No, our car was scrapped. And yeah, this drive will always remind me of that time.
Funny time.
It was weird. The thing about driving through London at night is the lights, everything's lit up, and you can see the interesting houses that you pass. There's such a mixture of architecture in London. But I don't know about you, Paul, but I love sort of peering into people's front rooms as you drive past, and you've got pubs like that, traditional pubs, railway bridges like this one. London's such a mishmash of so many different styles.
And this, of course, goes into Clapham, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of the busiest train station in London.
Yeah. There are so many different so many different styles of architecture, so many different types of people. People from everywhere come to London. And I have my favourite bits of the journey. I love this little bit that winds round. It's like a little roller coaster. The road sort of suddenly curves round. Woo! Yay! Be great to do it at a higher speed, but of course all the roads now are 20 miles an hour, certainly on this route. Apart from the stretch on the M4, which I'll show you when we get to it. This area is Battersea, home of the power station, Battersea Power Station, which featured on one of the covers of a Pink Floyd album.
It's no longer a power station.
It's no longer a power station, no, of course. It's now a leisure facility.
Luxury housing.
And a leisure facility. There's like a sort of whole thing been built in it now that you can visit. The thing about London is there's lots and lots of flats. Lots of people living on top of each other, and Battersea is no exception. You've got a lot of mansions at Battersea, mansion houses, which are basically flats. There's a lot of traffic here at the moment. We're going to be going over the bridge, but I think it's going to take us a little while. We can see lots of red lights in the distance, so it'll take a little while to get there. We're nearly at Battersea Bridge. Oh, there's a London bus, big red bus, going down the bus lane. They have their own lanes. And we're about to go over the bridge. So of course, to go from West London to South London, you have to cross the river, and that's the River Thames, which we are about to do. The traffic
In about 5 minutes.
The traffic is crazy. It's just so crazy tonight. Can't quite get over it. We've literally not known this traffic to be this poor for a long time. Ever, yeah. I don't know whether you can see the view. Well, you can. London at night. Pretty. I'm going to try and get the other side. You can see another bridge over that way.
Is that Chelsea?
Chelsea Bridge. I don't know what it's called. No idea. Lots of buildings, you can just about see the river. It's going to take us a while to get over the bridge. And then we're going down that road, which is called Cheney Walk, where those cars are going. So we're going to turn round. It looks like there's some kind of diversion. Oh no, cyclists, diverted cyclists, it says. Oh
There's
well.
a lot of traffic now.
There is a lot of traffic. Nothing we can do, we've got to go that way. We've got no choice. I mean, there are choices in London, but very often you'll try a different route and it will be just as busy. Noisy. God, no, I've never known traffic this bad at this time of night down here. Both directions as well. Crazy. Now this little shop here will always remind me of the pandemic, because I remember I was going past this shop and stopped in the traffic like we are now, and I remember looking in and seeing the guy in there, and he was behind screens wearing a mask. And, you know, it's a scruffy little shop on the corner here, but I don't know. I'll always remember that.
It's hub of the neighbourhood, I think.
Probably. This area is Earl's Court, isn't it?
Coming up to.
Yeah, coming up to Earl's Court, which used to be very well known for all the Australians and New Zealanders seemed to congregate at Earl's Court, didn't they?
Yeah. In terms of lodging.
In terms of, you know, living in finding a flat to live in, and yeah, it's very popular. And of course you had the venue at Earl's Court, which is where I saw Madonna.
Yeah, which isn't there anymore.
Which is no longer there. No, it's been pulled down. This is a one-way system as well. It might be worth pointing that out. So you've got sort of 2 lanes of traffic, and then you've got 2 lanes for parking along that stretch, and bus stops as well. So it can be a bit hazardous. It's also a red route, which means vehicles can only stop in certain places. It's a single red line. Then you've got double red lines, which means absolutely no stopping whatsoever.
At any time.
At any time, unless you've broken down. But you have to keep your nerve
And your wits about you.
and your wits about you when you're driving through London. The good thing is the speeds don't get very high.
But you still get drivers. There's a Mercedes just behind us, a grey one on my left, and it's desperate to get ahead.
Yeah,
Just
well, there's nowhere for it to go. That's the thing. There is nowhere for it to go. Now we're one-way system, 3 lanes. There we are, speeding ahead. Yeah, you have to keep your nerve. We're used to it because we've been doing it for years. Doesn't mean we necessarily like it, but you know, that's the way it goes. I'd rather be in the car than on the train, to be honest. That's where Earl's Court used to be. There. The venue.
That bus is
I
flashing.
don't know what he's doing. He's got his brakes on now, so yeah, he's stopped. We'll be shortly coming up to the A4, which is one of the roads that leads into central London, and obviously we're going out towards the west, and that will lead on to the M4, which is the stretch of motorway that kind of whizzes us along to the area that we live in. So you can see these signs, this green sign coming up. Straight on to Shepherd's Bush, and then left to the west towards Heathrow and Hammersmith. And that's where we're going now. Big Tesco store there.
big advertising signage.
Big advertising signs, yeah. Very bright. You can't see those, it's so bright.
Jumbotrons.
Ah, this looks a bit clearer. Thank goodness. Yep, that road ahead is very clear. That's lovely. Let's hope we don't turn the corner and it suddenly changes. And a few cars going down there now. So this is the A4. And this is a busy junction. Right by the famous Three Kings pub. And we're off. This is where we slip onto the M4 briefly. So of course, elevated section, opportunity for advertising, viewing all the companies that we drive past. There's a couple of car showrooms, I think, but you can see here advertising boards. You've got Volkswagen.
I thought that was Kia.
There's Volkswagen, thank you. Self-storage place. Lots of flats.
There's Kia.
It really has, yeah, there's Kia. So it really has become a little extension of the city, really. Got lots of tower blocks.
And that's our M4 bit we're coming off.
Yeah, now we come off the M4, back onto the A4.
But all that bumping is where it's sort of rubberised. It's where the
Well, they're expansion gaps.
Yeah, the bridge can expand.
Expansion gaps, yeah. But I find this car is quite hard on the suspension.
And then this is the M4 above us now.
Yeah, now they're doing a lot of work on this. We got caught in traffic earlier because all of this bridge
is falling down.
It's crumbling away.
And falling onto people's cars.
Yeah, so you can see all this hoarding here. That's where they're working. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So it needs to be replaced and repaired. So.
Well, it's when the M4 was originally built. It would have been.
Which was quite a long time ago.
Very long time.
Yeah.
And all of this housing and hotels on the left, that's all come up in recent years.
It's all new. I mean, you can see. It's all new stuff. So we're coming up to the junction with Boston. Is it called Boston Manor Road or Boston Road? Which is essentially the road that leads us to our road. We have to do a little sort of
wiggle,
strange turnaround because we can't turn right here, so we have to, do this little loop. You can see that road sign there that shows the loop we have to do. And the loop is right by GlaxoSmithKline. I tell you, it's really humid this evening. It's feeling very warm in the car. So that is Glaxo, but looks like all the lights turned off.
Well, yeah, energy saving.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But they're also going to be closing it in a couple of years and moving elsewhere.
It's normally illuminated, but clearly they've changed their policy, which is good. So we have to wait for the lights to change so we can cross this main road. And there we are, there's the sign for Hanwell. That's where we're off to, our home.
Here we go, I think.
Yeah, this will be us in a second. Here we go.
So we're going under the M4
We're going
again.
back onto the M4, this huge bridge here. Everywhere's looking very green still. And it's certainly a sultry evening, I have to say. And the aircon's not working on the car.
This is Boston Manor Park on the left, which is we haven't been to in years. It's had a huge amount of refurbishment on Boston Manor House and on the grounds. One of the what do you call them? Oh, I can't remember. Not wardens. One of the rangers from Ealing moved to manage it, and we haven't been since it's all changed.
No, we haven't been for a long time.
It's sort of slightly bittersweet because it's one of the last places that we walked with Mum and Dad together, because it was such a level place to park and then get in and walk around. But I think we will do at some point.
So we're just about to come past our local tube station, which is on the Piccadilly line, which is called Boston Manor, and it's an overground tube at this point. I'll try and give you a glimpse of it as we go past. Here we are. It's Boston Manor tube station. We are very nearly home. Well, the traffic's certainly a little calmer in this area of London tonight. You can see the two red lights in the sky. That's the remaining crane from the recent building works for Hanwell Square. Again, another symbol of the pandemic, actually. And I think I wrote about that on Facebook. Our local garage. Our local access storage centre, where we had a storage unit until earlier this year when we got rid of it. This is all the new development, Hanwell Square, which is all very nice. Local pub, and this is our road, St Dunstan's Road. So I shall bid you farewell. Here we are. So there we are. We hope you enjoyed that. Let us know if you did or you didn't. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
It was a lovely day.
It was
We
a lovely
really did
day.
have a lovely
It was a
day.
really great day, and we exchanged a few gifts with each other.
Because we haven't seen each other, in person for ages.
Yeah, there's just been too much going on.
Because we've been getting the house ready for putting on sale, and it's been on sale, and
And I'd pre-agreed, well, we'd set a date to see each other a couple of weeks ago, and I'd pre-agreed with work that I would be taking that day off, even though it is my day off, but I wouldn't be working extra hours on the Friday. So we planned to go over, and we took a few bits and pieces, as we said in the video, in the on the drive home. So it was just a very pleasant day, catching up with each other.
Because of course a lot has happened in Vivi's life, which we know about, but there's something about meeting up, and it's, well, I suppose it's just much more personal, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you're able to have a more relaxed chat. It's all well and good speaking on the phone and doing,
Video chats.
chats, but it's not the same as being in person, not the same as having a hug with each other, and just discussing stuff and getting into the nitty-gritty of our issues and, how we feel about those things. And of course, like you just said, it's just been a very busy time, and every spare bit of time has been spent doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, ideally that's not really how I like to lead my life. I enjoy doing stuff and I enjoy having busy times, but we've kind of missed out this year on our leisure time.
Yeah, on our walks.
Our drives out into the countryside.
We haven't been to Avebury.
No, we haven't been to Avebury, which we normally do once a year. We haven't been to the Chilterns as often as we would like to.
We haven't been to Guernsey, apart from once in June.
Yeah, so...
we haven't been to Wales, so...
No,
yeah,
but it... that's the way of things sometimes, but we're kind of getting to the point where we are kind of getting a little bit tired of it. Tired of this sort of treadmill that we're on at the moment. So we're kind of looking at the situation that we're in at the moment in terms of the house, in terms of the mortgage. We'll talk about that in Sunday chats of the near future, to let you know what's happening with that. We're going to be making some decisions. As RuPaul says, I've made some decisions. Which we have, but we're not talking about that just yet because they're waiting for confirmation of certain things at the moment, blah blah blah, but we'll keep you posted on that. So yeah, it's a funny old time. One of you commented, I think it was Matthew, commented, he doesn't know how we fit everything in, and we replied, neither do we, because it's kind of not how we like to lead our lives. We like to build in some free time for mental health, more than anything, because you can feel as though you're losing control because there are external influences and things that you've signed up for that you have to roll out. It's just how it is, and I think we can all take a little bit more stress than we think we can for a certain length of time.
Absolutely, it's when that becomes extended.
You get to that point, you think, no, no, I'm putting my foot down now. It's time for a break. So we are thinking about that, and we are going to be building a break in very soon.
I mean, it's a bit like when I was doing social farms and gardens. You know, I was chair of the trustees of that charity. You know, it's a national charity, over £1 million turnover a year. It's, you know, significant. And I just got to a point where I knew, no, that's it. I need to now carve out time for myself rather than carving out time for you know, this volunteering work, really, but really, you know, heavy-headed volunteering work. But
well, I think also we've, you know, over the years we've had moments where maybe jobs aren't working out as we'd hoped, and we've taken risks. You know, I walked out of my job at the BBC.
Yeah.
Literally told them, that's it, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm leaving now. And they sort of said, well, you can't do that. I said, watch me. And managed to get a month's money paid.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, it is possible to change direction and still survive.
I was supposed to be in Ireland this weekend. 3 or 4 months ago, this was on the weekend I penciled in that I would be in Ireland for a film shoot, and of course with the SAG, in, you know, the actors sort of striking and writers and all of that, that's been put in abeyance to next year. So yeah, situations change, plans change.
Yeah, plans do change, and you sometimes have to say, right, this isn't working for me. How can I change this? And put a new plan together. And yeah, it's risky and it's frightening, but sometimes you've got to do it. So
it's like when I left Bill Kenwright Limited.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a job to go to. I just knew that I couldn't carry on working at Bill Kenwright Limited.
And we ran off to Bali.
We did. We went to Bali for 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember flying back. We were going over, flying over India, because, you know, you've got the map on the back of the chair in front of you. And we were going over India, and I was thinking, what am I going to do as a job when I get back? But
that's when you sold your body, didn't you, Paul?
I did, yeah. Absolutely. No, I'd done that years before. Yeah. Anyway,
blah blah blah. Let's move on with the show, because it's a long one today. Ooh, I know.
Said the actress to the bishop.
Yeah. So let's get on to television. What have we watched on TV this week? It's been a relatively good week for TV.
It's been quite mixed.
Although I've had a couple of bouts of falling asleep.
Oh, you have, yeah.
Just mainly because, as I said in the dailies, waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the mornings. I woke up at 4:30 this morning and heard the bongs on the clock go at 5 o'clock, and I thought, it's only 5 o'clock, I'm wide awake. But you got up as well and made tea.
I got up at 6, yeah.
So I did sort of linger in bed.
So you could have got up and made tea.
But I couldn't quite fall asleep, and what happens is my brain starts.
Does it?
And it starts this sort of torture of all the things I need to do, all the things that are difficult, all the things that are annoying me, and they start to play, and then I think, I've got to get up, got to make tea.
I'd rather it at that time than at 11 o'clock at night, though.
It doesn't happen to me at
I know,
night.
you're just the way.
It's the morning.
He was last night. He said to me, don't read too much, because it was quite late.
Honestly, they need to do something about those noisy vehicles.
Don't read too much, because it's late. By the time I got to the end of the page and turned it, he was asleep.
Well, I just turned over and that's it.
I know, you were gone.
I'm lucky I can fall asleep absolutely anywhere at any time. I could just lie on the floor and just fall asleep.
Yeah. So we also watched... no, we haven't said what we watched.
No, we haven't. Wait. Don't jump the gun. So we watched the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
which
We won't say who won.
but the person who won
Deserved
it.
Definitely. And there is a new season of RuPaul's Drag Race UK starting this autumn. We've already watched Meet the Queens. And yeah, they look good. The queens look good. It's interesting, isn't it? Because at the beginning, they're always brash and cocky.
Yeah,
Always.
and then you get to know them a bit.
And then they're slowly broken down to their component parts.
Yeah, that's true.
Mentally.
Yeah.
And we get all the stories, we get the tales of, you know, issues, homophobia.
Came out at 14, my parents threw me out of the house.
We get all of that nitty gritty and we learn to love the queens. Some of them are a little bit continually over the top, I find, some of the queens. And it's like, just calm down, tell us your story without gesticulating continually, you know. Yeah, it's like, just calm down. It's like Floor in Down Under. She annoyed me a little bit because she's always on. You know, it's like, just let us see the vulnerabilities, you know. Let us fall in love with the real you.
And of course, that's what that programme is about, you know.
Yeah.
It's all of these entertainments are about, you need to give yourself up to the camera, you know.
But also...
Which is sort of what we do as well.
Then it's all about work. So conversely, you know, when you're dressed as your character in drag, you work it, you know, because you've got to give that performance. So it's nice when there is a balance and a light and shade, you know, the contrast between the two, not full on out of drag and in drag.
Yeah.
You know? I've got a bit of cracker in my tooth.
Oh, how lovely. You could save that for later.
No, I'm enjoying it now. So yeah, that was fun. So looking forward to the new UK season. We watched a really interesting programme called The Longest Goodbye.
My favourite programme of the week.
Which is all about a...
manned mission to Mars.
How humans would cope on a mission to Mars. So it's all about the psychology of the astronauts and how they are selected and what the qualities need to be and what the danger points are for these missions. It was really, really interesting.
And how they expect relationships, you know, working relationships and maybe other relationships to develop in the period of leaving the Earth and getting to Mars and being on Mars and then coming back, you know. I don't think the first one is a landing, isn't it? I think it's getting there and getting
doing
back.
an orbit.
Yeah. And of course the interesting thing is that you get to a point where you can't have live communication between Earth and the spaceship that's going to Mars.
Yeah, there's a delay.
And therefore you've got to record things like we're doing here, which get transmitted, and then they get answered by being recorded and transmitted, and how that may psychologically affect people more. So yeah, I mean, The Longest Goodbye, it was sort of, you know, it is a long goodbye. So
it's a really interesting watch. What was it on? What
BBC,
Chanel? Quelle est la Chanel?
Was it BBC 4? It was BBC 4, BBC
Was
2.
it?
I think it was BBC 2. I think
Was
it was BBC
it?
2. Yeah. It was a BBC programme.
Oh, okay. So
And,
it was maybe on iPlayer.
It'll be on iPlayer. And they also looked at some of the, you know, astronauts who had been in space and on the International Space Station and how that had affected them as well.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. We also watched The Sky at Night, staying on a space theme, and that was all about the VLT, the very large telescope in the Atacama Mountains.
In Chile.
Atacama?
Yeah, in Chile.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Oh, it's gone quite grey.
And also the other one that they're building.
And the ELT.
ELT.
The extremely large telescope. The engineering is just incredible. I mean, when you see that building perched on top of that, what looks like a volcanic mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks as though it would just slide away.
It looks. I mean, the road sort of goes around it, spirals around it because it's too steep to sort of go up. If you see what I mean, in a straight line, and it just looks quite sheer. And I thought one of the most fascinating things was when they were saying that they watch the sunset every day, you know, because they're so high up above the clouds that the sunset is, you know, you get it every single, well, you obviously get sunset everywhere, but they never get used to the sunset, and I found that fascinating.
It was
and the work they do,
just incredible. The technology, what?
And their living quarters.
Oh, well, they used that in a Bond movie, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it was kind of, you could see how sort of ultra tech it looked. With indoor gardens, gyms, massive cooking facility, accommodation,
recreational rooms,
yeah,
sports facilities, that type of thing. I think they said there was 120 people at any one time living there.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the admin ancillary staff that are needed for that, cooking 24 hours because it's a 24-hour shift. Because
Alexa, please stop. Thank you.
Because some people are working during the day and others are working on the telescope at night, so it has to be a 24-hour thing. Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good one. Yeah, we watched a movie this week, Paul, didn't we?
We did.
We watched Matrix Resurrections, which was a couple of years old, but it's the latest one.
Full on.
Well, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. You said to me I enjoyed that.
Did I enjoy
Yes,
it?
you did. You said you did.
Well, I fell asleep.
Yeah, you did.
We had to pick it up.
But we started it quite
that.
late.
I always do that with all the Matrix films.
Yeah.
I get to a certain point to think I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
I think it's my second favourite Matrix film. I really enjoyed it.
I don't even remember what happened in the end. Don't tell me. Don't tell the viewers in case you've not seen it. But I mean, I think I hate to say it, but I think a lot of these films are so packed full of fast edits, incredible special effects, CGI, that it's kind of become the norm now. So you just kind of go along for the ride, and it is like a ride. It's sort of wild. But I think I sort of end up not actually following the story.
Well, I think Matrix, it's always been a sort of slightly difficult story to follow because it is sort of a mind-bending story anyway. I got this sort of concept more clearly from this. I think this one is a bit clearer, but then it gets a bit sort of muddled in the middle. Well, it doesn't get muddled, you get a bit muddled, and then it clarifies something.
Yeah.
So
it was quite clever.
But if you think these are fast edits, you should look at John Wick. In the fight scenes of John Wick and things, they are so fast.
Oh, you like that kind of thing.
I like Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Well, who doesn't? He's a dude. Well, he's cool.
He is.
He travels around on public transport. He's done, lived as a homeless person and just acted like a normal person.
And of course gone through significant tragedy in his life as well. So
respect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keanu, for watching.
Yeah, thank you, Keanu, for being who you are.
Yeah, he's not watching. He doesn't know we exist. Not many people do.
No,
You're a
that's
select group of people, dear viewers.
Exclusive.
We're the cult of Richard and Paul. We are a couple of cults.
With a capital C.
Yeah. So, that's it for this week's Sunday Chat. That's it, Paul. Poorly.
Of course, I finished Jack Ryan Series 2, which I really, really enjoyed.
I don't know what that is.
No, you don't,
Got
do you?
no idea.
And there is series 3, so I might see if I can get Richard to watch
Really?
it.
Who's
Yeah.
in it? Who
That
is
guy
in it?
that was in that movie that nobody said anything. Yeah, that one.
I don't know.
That one. And he was in The Office. He was the main sort of...
Oh, Krasinski.
Yes,
is it?
John Krasinski.
I
yeah.
am not a fan.
He's not a fan. I am.
No.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
So thank you, bloody thank you. Sorry it's been such a long one again.
Has it?
Wow. Yeah, with the extras.
Oh.
With the extra bonus footage.
Oh, bonus footage.
That's right. So thank you, bloody thank you for all your support. Thank you for following us on all our platforms, Instagram, Twitter, no, not Twitter, X,
I'm sorry, it's Twitter.
Facebook, Planet Vegetaria, that's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017 as contractual.
Threads, we're doing threads as well. A few things
And
on
of course, Coffee, our lovely coffee supporters.
Absolutely. And of course, if you want to receive our next newsletter, which will be out early in October, remember to sign up. The link is in the link is below in the description below. But it's richardandpaul.com/mailing list. Yeah.
Thank you.
There we are.
Thank you.
What are you going to do now?
Edit this.
Oh, there we are.
Edit this. And then we're going over the road
Yeah.
to see our friend for dinner.
Yeah.
We're taking dinner over tonight. It's our turn. So we're taking a selection of goodies.
We are. Yeah. Different things. Yeah.
Lovely. Take care. Toodle pip au revoir.
Swedish style balls.
Balls to you too. Bye for now.
Bye.